Welcome back to the original Living in Arkansas channel. Today we're talking about Benton County, eastern Benton County, mostly Rogers area, Lowell, Garfield. We're going to be doing an interactive map with you a little bit today. And you might be wondering why I'm standing on the side of the road, but I'll get that in a second. But what we're going to be doing is going Lowell, Rogers. We're going to be showing you a few houses. We're going to be showing you maps, neighborhoods that give you a really good taste of what it's like to live in these areas, what kind of houses you're going to be expecting, what kind of proximity to everything that you're going to be expecting as well. So why I'm right here on the side of the road, this is right where Highway 612 is going to go in the next 5 to 6 years. And right over there, there's about a dozen houses DR Horton's putting in. They've got acre plus. We're going to talk about those first. And this is why this is an interesting area, because this is outside of town and there's a lot of opportunity here. So like I said, we're going to be showing you 3 places in Lowell. So if you guys are looking for houses in Rogers area, Benton County area, we're going to be talking the pros and cons. We're going to be talking about where the areas that you might want to live in, the different kind of variety that you're going to find 10 minutes out, 20 minutes out, downtown. We're going to be showing you everything we can in Rogers areas right now. So let's go right over there to the first place. So our first stop in Lowell today is Monitor Meadows. These are 8 DR Horton homes available here. They're on an acre. You're out in the country. And as you're going to see on the map, we're 300, 400 yards away from the intersection where the 612 bypass is going to go in. You're going to have access to the highway, super close access to Bentonville, Springdale, Rogers. It's going to open this place up drastically. But for right now, as you can see on this drone footage, this cloudy, rainy day right now, there's just country around us. There's rural areas. This is out in the farmlands near in the edge of Springdale and Lowell. So this is a very unique neighborhood. And so what is it like to live here? It's rural, it's country. You're 10, 12 minutes away from grocery stores, restaurants, depending on what kind of schools you're going for. And then some of the negatives for being out here is it's a little bit further away, but you get that peace and quiet. You get there's hardly any road noise. There's no big truck traffic that's going by. It is a pretty calm area out here. Now, when that highway goes in, you might be able to hear a little bit of road noise being this close to it. So that's one thing to consider. But that's not going to be for another 5, 6, 7 years before they get that completely done. Now, on the flip side, these are coming in at 2,100 square feet, 3-car garage, 2,200 square feet, 460 to 480 on an acre, and it is going to appreciate. Something like this on an acre out here in Springdale, Lowell area is going to go up in value, especially when that highway goes in. You get 22 minutes to Bentonville. If you're gonna, the values out here are gonna be astronomical. Farmland around this area is gonna go up in value. So definitely, these might be an option for you. Maybe not, but we've got a whole bunch more in Lowell, Rogers, and Prairie Creek and Garfield today that we're gonna be showing you in this video. So let's go to the next one. All right, you just saw us in a DR Horton neighborhood out here in the country in Lowell. So one thing I want to point out is Highway 612 here. So eventually, if you've been watching me at all, you've been seeing that I've been talking about this a lot. So Highway 49 goes north and south, 612 bypasses Springdale, nice 75, 70 mile an hour highway up and around. So 412 is opened up and the truck traffic gets off of Highway 412, which there's dozens of lights in here. And it just inside Springdale going east and west, and it becomes a bottleneck. It's just, you don't want to drive in there. So they're changing up Springdale, doing that way. Right now, I'm going to show you this map. So currently, they are working on this section. So right here, they're right there above Elm Springs on Highway 112. And they're coming down and they're building all the way to 412. Like, there is a bunch of construction going on right now. been highlighting those scar lines in the dirt. And they're also heading north to the airport. That's on a different diagram. But today, so that's going to be done in the next 2 years or less. That's going to really open up the west side of Springdale and Tawnytown, and it's going to open up Siloam Springs to Bentonville. Now, today, we're going to be talking about the east side. So they're not currently constructing anything. They've bought up a lot of land, and they're going to be beginning this project, probably a first segment, probably like this right here, in the next, within a few months after finishing the last one. They're going to be starting this project within a year or so after finishing the last one, going up to the airport and to 412. Then let's zoom into where we were. We were over here. We were right here by Lepper and Monitor. So the neighborhood is right there, and there's not going to be an on-ramp right there. You'll have to go north a little bit and get up here to 265 and get on the on-ramp. Not a big deal. That is literally like a 4-minute drive. Like 4 minutes and boom, you're on the on-ramp. But you still get an acre. You're out here in the country. It's a beautiful area. This is going to be huge for opening up eastern Springdale to Bentonville and Rogers. People are going to be moving out here into the country where it's been really far away from the highway, getting close to Bentonville and Rogers. This is going to be a really interesting detail that's going to change the landscape of our real estate. And so if you're looking at buying a house and you can sustain driving for 5 years out here, 5-7 years before they get it done on the east side, then you're going to have a lot of appreciation for when this goes in, and you're going to have a lot of value appreciation for when it goes in, because it's going to open up a whole section of developments, and it's going to they're going to start building around their neighborhoods, but also the country homes and the farms that are already there. The value is just going to go up more because they have access to the highway. You actually get places a lot quicker. So that's going to be a big deal. Now, there's a lot of neighborhoods over here in Sonora that we've highlighted before that they're going to be quick access to the interstate, the bypass, and they're going to be able to get to Bentonville, Bella Vista area in 22 minutes instead of having to go all the way through 412 and then north, which will take you at least 30 minutes alone before you even head north. So that's exhausting and a lot of lights. Enough about that. We're going to be talking about this a little bit more on one of the other houses in Lowell. We talk about this area right in here by Bethel Heights. So let's go to our website right quick. If you scan the QR code, it's going to take you here. You come down here to start your home search. You're going to be able to jump right in. This is 3-bedroom, 2-bath properties. It's just set up that way initially, but you can easily go to advanced search and or just actually over here. There's 8 houses currently. They're building a whole bunch more that will be available. These are the 8 D.R. Horton homes that I was talking about. 422. Oh wow, that one's 1750 square feet, 3-car garage, 4-bedroom, 422 on an acre, out in the country, beautiful area. As you saw from the drone footage, it's really nice. So 422 to 481 to be out here in a brand new house. There's a whole bunch of other listings available. Get to know the terrain a little bit. Let's pop into Google Maps. So look at those. We're right here on the neighborhood. Look at those mountains right there I say mountains. They're 400 feet above this point right here. So they stand up pretty good, but they're not necessarily mountains as you would, obviously. Anyways, there's mountain bike trails all the way around this. Really great place to go ride. Beautiful terrain. You're close to the lake, and you can get up here to Hickory Creek Park if you want to put a boat in. Great place there. What else could I say about this? You are minutes away from getting over here to Butterfield Coach, where you got Harp's Food Store and Walmart Neighborhood Market. And if you wanted to get to the interstate from here, let's just map this out. Where's from right there, directions, and let's say you're heading north. You're 7 miles, and with traffic, you're 15 minutes away from the interstate. Now, let's change that up a little bit. Let's go to right there. You're only 13 minutes away if you go straight down 264. So, you're pretty close to things. You can get places pretty well. There's not a whole lot of traffic. There's 264 is 2-lane highway to right here. Then it goes 4-lane all the way to the interstate. A lot of development going on in this area. So the next place I want to talk about, and we're going to show you, this was an accident that we found, and I wasn't meaning to find this. And nothing's listed in this neighborhood yet, but Anderson Homes is building in here. So let's jump into the video right quick of me walking around in drone footage. Let's go do that. All right, as you just saw on the map, I found this neighborhood just by browsing around on the map. Saw the dirt scar lines, and they are going to be building some massive homes on these, probably 2-acre lots, maybe 1.5 acres. This is really nice, going to be a super nice development built by Anderson Homes. Didn't even know this was happening. Nothing's listed yet. Just happened to drive by, happened to see it on the map. And this is kind of a little pocket neighborhood that you're going to experience in Benton County, Washington County, Northwest Arkansas area. So this is why you probably want to reach out, and we would love to connect you with a neighborhood like this if this is what you're looking for. If not, stay tuned. There's plenty of other houses and neighborhoods that we're going to be demoing today. But right quick, let's pop up the drone and show you what this whole street looks like right quick. So that place looks pretty cool. As you can see, it's very close. You're closer than the Monitor Meadows neighborhood that we were just talking about. So right here from Frisco Cemetery and Primrose, getting over to the interstate, let's just map that. Let's just show you. So right there. All right, so I mapped it right quick. It is 8 minutes, 3.2 miles away with a little bit of stop and go traffic on lights. So you're super close, under 10 minutes to the interstate. These are going to be some bigger homes, probably 2,500 square feet or bigger on 1/2 acre plus. Very interesting area. So the next neighborhood that I'm going to show you right here is this one. This is Riverwood Homes. They don't allow me to go inside their houses. They talk about that a little bit in the video while I'm walking around. You're right off of Highway 265. This 265 is a great road for going north and south. There are a few lights, but not many. And you can get really quick access to Rogers if you work in Rogers. If you're going down here south to Springdale, it's very quick, and you start hitting a few more lights the further you go south. But this is still open, beautiful, rolling hills. You can kind of get these in the background, in the distance. It's quiet out there, and you might be noticing this line right here, and it goes to this water depot. This is where they pump water out of the lake from right here. So they are getting our drinking water and filtering it and processing it and all that stuff. So, little detail here. So this is a farm owned by an equestrian company. But this little thing right here, which was really weird, we drove up to it and we Googled it and we researched it. It was a weather radar for the U.S. government and the FAA. So that was interesting. A little blurb there. Let's jump in to the video real quick. All right, here we are at a Riverwood Homes neighborhood. This is right off of 265. You saw it on the map. We've got a whole bunch of phase 3 and phase 4 going in. I think there's 6 total phases maybe. Riverwood makes a really great house. However, they're a little bit silly on their marketing. They don't allow people to go promote their house, so I can't go tour it and show off how great of a house that they actually build and all the finishes that they put into it. It's a very well built home and a lot of nice level finishes. This neighborhood, you're probably going to be starting in the high 3s, low 4s, and you're going to go all the way up to 2,500 square feet, go down to like 1,500. So they've got some great floor plans. Definitely worth checking out what it's like to live in this area. You're off of 265. So it is a super quiet road. You have quick access to Fayetteville, Springdale, or going north into Rogers. I want to say, the map is going to prove me wrong, but I want to say 10 minutes to the interstate where you can get up to Bentonville or Fayetteville quicker. Besides the construction noise going on right now, it's just trees and wilderness that way. And then you have Lowell and the highway 3-4 miles that way. So it's a very peaceful, quiet area when there's no construction going on. Definitely an interesting area. If this is an intrigue to you, then be sure to reach out. If not, we're going to stay tuned for the next houses, which is going to finish up Lowell on a older street closer to the highway. So let's go over there right now. Let's see it on the map first. Okay, got a good taste of that neighborhood. It's very quiet, very beautiful there. As you can see, you are still really close to the interstate. You're close to grocery stores and restaurants up here in Pleasant Grove and South Rogers. So if you want access to everything, you just hop on the highway. In 20 minutes, you're wherever you need to go. This is going to be Rogers School District, so do your research on that. Lowell is it's an older town and it's smaller. It's kind of like a in-between town. It never really grew to be huge, became industrial. If you're driving down the Highway 71, which is littered with lights, it's very industrial. This was the main drag before I-49 went in. This was the only 71B right here going Rogers, Lowell, Bethel Heights. That was the only north and south other than Highway 112 over here. So when 49 came in, that saved a lot of time and it bypassed all these, small town frontage road businesses. You got car lots, you got everything going on in here. And Lowell kind of took a beating a little bit because not a whole lot of businesses survived off of 71 because they were looking for that drive-by traffic. Well, some of it is older industrial. Then right off that, you have some streets and you have some neighborhoods. Let's go to another neighborhood where I know some people that live. Let's find it first. Where is it at? Right here off of Apple Blossom on this Walden Street. So I went down here to the southern tip where right across here is where the new highway is going to go. So on the southern tip of Walden, you're going to hear that. But this gives you a really good taste, as you're going to see from the drive-by B-roll, what the 80s houses look like in Lowell. They're most likely on septic because they didn't have sewer systems. I talk about all that. Let's jump into the video right now. Okay, I'm at the end of Walden Street. You just saw a whole bunch of B-roll of all the houses, and this is kind of the typicality of what you're going to find in Lowell, Rogers areas, that they're going to be these mid-80 homes and older. On this street in particular, something that just to note is these are on septic systems. Lowell, back in the 80s, didn't have infrastructure, so they didn't have sewers. They had water lines run everywhere, but they didn't have sewer lines. Now they're starting to get sewer lines, a lot more prevalent. Like that last neighborhood we were just at, obviously they were on sewer. One thing to note about this street, as I just said on the map, is right there is where the Highway 612 is going to be. So down here at the end of it, you're going to hear it a little bit as the highway goes through. Maybe down at the far end of the north side, you're not going to hear it so much. This is actually a very quiet road right now. You barely hear 71. There's a lot of birds, a lot of beautiful, look at the trees. Just all the big full trees. I can't find my drone right here. There's no permission here. And so, otherwise I'd show you that. But this street is very close to getting on the highway. You're like 6 minutes, 2 different ways to get onto I-49. And then if you go into a grocery store, you're minutes away. You're right in between Bentonville and Fayetteville. So this is a pretty prime location. So that wraps up Lowell. Oh, also, you are super close to one of the top 3 companies in Northwest Arkansas, JB Hunt. They have a huge facility, brand new buildings, put in a whole bunch of road and infrastructure around them. They are a big contributor to the economy around here. A lot of people move here because of that job or get moved here for that job. It's a big company. They do a lot of trucking and freight. And then there's, so we'll show a little drone footage of that right there. But that pretty much wraps up Lowell. Now we're going to be showing you starting in West Rogers and then take you over to Central Rogers into the lake. All right, let's go. You saw that right there in the drone footage. JB Hunt building. This whole complex is all JB Hunt. They do about almost 30% of all trucking market share in the United States, and intermodal and train, and they do a lot of business. They are a Fortune 500 company. We're happy to have them, and I have a few friends that actually work for them, and they treat their employees really, really well, and they take care of them in many ways more than just good pay. So they do a good job, and they definitely are a value to this area. In conjunction with, they grew in conjunction with Sam's Club and Walmart and all the other companies, and Tyson Foods in our area. They needed a lot of trucks. JB Hunt provided that. So let's move on north. We went over here into Rogers. Let's change the map right quick so I can find out where I was. So I'm going to type in Rogers here, just so you can see the boundary lines of Rogers. Turn off terrain. There you go. Rogers city limits goes all the way over here to the western side of the highway. And where we were, let's see if I can zoom in on it and find it. There it is, right here. We were right over here in Savannah Estates. I was walking around, showing you some houses. Now this is going to be primo location for proximity to everything. If you're trying to get to the Promenade Mall, and we've shown that before, you got Mercy Hospital, you got the mall, you got grocery stores, natural grocery stores, Bass Pro Shop, Walmart, Music Pavilion, we got Top Golf, Rogers. This satellite image needs to be updated. This is all built out. They've got a whole bunch of restaurants, a whole bunch of services in here. This is like the shopping and entertainment hub of Northwest Arkansas is right there. And you are literally minutes away. Where was it? Right here. So this is a good taste of what it's like to be on the west side of the highway in Rogers. Everything's laid out in these neighborhoods. It's not old industrial roads. Then they built neighborhoods around it. This was plotted and planned. Neighborhoods that were built next to a shopping center. Much more developed, much more late 90s, all the way to now. They were still building, as you can see, there's still a lot of land that they're going to be filling in with new housing developments. So let's go to me walking down that road. Welcome to West Rogers. This is west of I-49. This is the kind of neighborhood that you're going to find a lot of in West Rogers. These are bigger estate homes. These are going to be probably the average. I'll let the map details tell me, but the average size home is probably going to be 2,200 square feet, maybe a little bit bigger. Average price is going to be like somewhere in the 600 to 700,000. This is a more developed, planned out, instead of just like, oh, here's an industrial street and let's put some neighborhoods off of it. This is planned neighborhoods. And these are beautiful homes, and this is a Savannah Estates. I think it's only about 4 or 5 years old. These are Buffington homes, I believe, and this is the kind of combination that you're going to get in Rogers. And then the other kind of style house that you're going to get is going to be on a golf course. There's a lot of golf courses. There's a few golf courses in Pinnacle Hills. Promenade Golf Course is very prominent. The other kind of house that you're going to get is the homes on a golf course and in a gated neighborhood. That's a very prominent aspect of Rogers as well. And so we'll show you that on the map, but I just wanted to give you kind of a taste. This is the kind of standard thing that you're going to see in West Rogers on this side of the highway. You're super close to the mall. You're super close to everything in downtown on the highway. So it's a very convenient area to live in. What else can I tell you about this? Be sure to go check out the schools on niche.com and greatschools.org. See if it's a fit for you. The proximity to all the medical services, all the shopping, all the schools after school programs, the parks. It's just a completely different vibe over here on West Rogers than it is in Central or in downtown Rogers. So definitely don't rule Rogers out, because this side is very fascinating and very beautiful. All right, let's go to the map and show you a few more details. I'm gonna pop up the drone and I'll show you and fly around for a second. So as you can see, Rogers has a lot to offer, from all the way to brand new, and as you're going to see, to some a little bit older classic options. We were over here on 12th and Ulrich. So we toured a house. Actually, I'm going to show you the tour of this house. Is right over here. Really cool, in the late 70s, early 80s home, freshly remodeled. This is near downtown Rogers. As you can see, it's just, they're streets. They're not necessarily neighborhoods that were like the newer one I just showed you in Rogers, West Rogers. This is more classic, older town style. That was right off of 71 and the business hall. Right off the highway right here, and you got Rogers Heritage High School. Be sure to check that out. And the school ratings, if that's a fit for you or not. But look at also, you're right here next to Lake Atlanta, which we're going to show you here in a second. And all these trails, and you got the Rail Yard Bike Park, which is really cool. So let's go to me touring that house. Okay, this is a really good example of a neighborhood and house that we're actually going to go in. This one's freshly redone. Very 70s, very typical of what you're going to find in Lowell. And older side of town in Rogers. So let's go on inside. I'm going to flip the camera around. Boom. So we've got 8-foot ceilings, and then we've got a whole house fan. Then they did LVP. This is a big dining area. Then the heater vents and AC. It's going to be that. They upgraded some of the lighting in here. This is going to be very typical, a big fireplace. This one does have real wood, or you can be a gas assist or gas burner. And then backyard, we'll go out there in a second. They upgraded some of the windows here. So the crank out windows. And then very 90s or 80s kitchen, galley kitchen. Got this little desk place here. Double oven, rocking the double oven there. So nicely equipped. Laundry room, not super huge. This is not the biggest house. You got a 2-car garage there. So kitchen, dining room, got the living room here. And then you got 3 bedrooms all on the same side of the house. You got a full bath right there. It's actually bigger than the master bathroom. So 2 bedrooms, good size, not huge, not itty bitty. And then the primary bedroom, you got a good sized room here that you're going to be able to fit a king size and a little bit of furniture. You got your closets. And then here's your primary bathroom. You got all the shower heads that you're going to ever want. But it is a little bit tight in there, a little bit close quarters, interesting floor. So I'm not picking this place apart. I'm just trying to give you a showcase of what you're going to get in Rogers rehab house that's going to be in the 80s, 70s, or 80s. And then just something else that's very typical for these kind of neighborhoods is you've got 4 different kinds of fences. You got a chain link fence, the shed, newer fence, this one, older fence, chain link with wood fence. So you get a myriad of stuff. You got a decent sized backyard, no gutters. Well, no gutters over there, gutters right here. Decent roof. So that gives you, that's going to give you a pretty good idea of a typical house in Rogers. This one, like I said, just been redone. So you're going to find it in various states of disrepair. This one was very nicely done by somebody I know, and they're letting me show this one on a video. So thank you to them. But we're going to show you another road in Rogers, another neighborhood area that has some very old homes, like early 1900s. There's a lot of 1900s, 1950s, 40s in Rogers, and that was where there was nobody living here, hardly ever, and hardly at all. So we'll pop the drone up right quick, show you this neighborhood, and give you a feel for that, and we'll go to the next one. So that gives you a pretty good taste of what you're going to find in Lowell area, Rogers area, for a freshly remodeled early 80s, mid 80s home in this area. Maybe you're looking for something like that. You want to be closer to this area. Maybe you're looking for a newer house. Whatever it may be sure to reach out. We'd love to help you answer some questions about which areas are going to be a good fit for you and your family. And we got more to talk about Rogers. We got more to show you in Rogers as well, but I want to pause for a moment and talk about weather. So we get some last year, happened to be in Iceland at the time, and we had a tornado go through Rogers, and it tore up a pretty good section of Rogers, and it sadly, one person died, and there was a dozen or so that were injured, and a lot of homes were damaged. Many of them were complete remodels. Many of them were some of them were complete teardowns. It ravaged a lot of trees, and it was not a pleasant sight. And you can still see some scars of that. There's still some houses being rebuilt. Long processes of recovering, but the trees are starting to grow back. People are moving back into their homes. So things are healing, things are going forward. However, I just wanted to bring that up. Yes, we do get tornadoes. No, we don't see that many houses that have tornado shelters. I don't understand why, but we don't see that very often. In the 15 years that I've lived here, this is the second tornado that has actually hit city limits. There's been 2 other tornadoes that hit some cow fields. The other one was in 2022 in Springdale. That hit. It was a lesser volcano. It was a lesser tornado, and it went and knocked over some warehouses and a empty school building, auxiliary building like a gym or something like that. Anyways, we get some bad weather as far as storms. We also get really cold weather. So this year we were down in the threes, near 3 degrees during the winter time, and that stayed around for about 2 or 3 days. We had a week of no school due to snow. So we actually get a good amount of weather that it'll snow here, and then they get the roads cleared up within 2 or 3 days, and then it's usually back to normal. It just so happened that it was long enough, and then we got hit Monday, and then we also got hit Wednesday with a little bit more. And so the whole week the kids were out of school, which they celebrated. But we do get some wild weather here in the winter. But that was just 1 week that we had bad road conditions. The rest of the time, it was completely fine. It was very cold outside. We were in the 20s. We were in the 30s. We were in the 40s. It was very cold, but the road conditions were bad for 1 week. But it's mid-June. It's about to be mid-June here. We're going into the hot season, July and August. It's going to be 90, 95 plus. We're going to touch 100 probably. It's going to be very humid, and it can be very warm here. So your AC is going to be used a lot during the summer, and your heat is going to be used a pretty good amount during the winter. You're going to have a few months, a little bit of time where you're opening windows to cool off the house, and then it's getting too humid during the summer and in the spring. Like right now, it just rained it probably rained 2 inches this morning, and it is a little humid outside, so you don't even want to open that window because it just goes so sticky and muggy. But one fact I want to bring up is in April, we had 14 inches of rain this year. And I believe the report hasn't come out from the data that I'm watching. I believe May we're going to be closer to the 18, 19 inches of rain because I think we had more. June's looking to be a pretty full month as well. We're probably going to be like 3 to 6 inches already. And it's only June 6th today. So we get a good amount of rain. We get 40 to 65 inches of rain a year. And a good bit of that happens in April and May. And so we're through our rainy season. We typically, if you look at the averages, we're going to be showing anywhere from 3 to 5 inches during the June, July, August. And then last year we had 0.5 of an inch in September. So we were at a very dry September. Then it dumped and rained in October. But all right. That's a really good picture. That's a little bit of a positive, a little bit of an update on the what it's like to live here. I wanted to talk about downtown Rogers. The only negative that is really the biggest negative with downtown Rogers and is getting to the highway. If you need to go to the hospital, if you need to go shopping, if you need to go north or go south to Fayetteville, whatever it is that you may need to do, go to a specialized doctor, whatever. Getting to the highway can be a pain in the butt. It's going to be a 15 to 20 minute drive, whole bunch of lights. If you hit every light, you're going to be doing about 20 minutes to get over there. So that's about the only negative to this area, and the inconvenience that you're going to experience. Now, right over here, I went and toured some Old Town Rogers. So let's jump into the video for that right now. This is downtown Rogers. Right over there is downtown Rogers, and these surface streets right next to it. You get some cool old houses like this, or maybe like that one, or maybe like that one. So this is the kind of variety that you're going to get in downtown Rogers, where it's built in the 1900s, 30s, 40s, 50s. As you get a little bit further away from downtown Rogers, it is really quiet here. You got no road noise, beautiful trees, well established. You're super close to downtown, and as you saw or gonna see on the map, there's a lot of things to do there. There's constantly activities there, so fantastic area. The prices are going to be a little bit higher. We'll talk about that on the map. The downside is you're going to be further away from the interstate if you need to go somewhere. You're going to be further away from the Promenade Mall if you need to get over there for whatever shopping. I'm not sure what other downsides there might be. Some pros are going to be it's historic, it's beautiful, it's peaceful. There's a lot of families around here. You got the park, you got the downtown area. It's just a unique part of Northwest Arkansas is downtown Rogers. So be sure to put that on your radar and check it out. Let's see the map. So downtown Rogers is pretty cool. You got some really cool rail yard and the splash park and everything. Sadly, I didn't get any video of that, but we did go over here to Lake Atalanta. And you're like, Brent, you're saying that really weird. If you look at how they spell it, there's Atalanta. I know Atalanta is how they kind of say it around here. So I wanted to pop into a few of these houses that are nearby. Like this one's on a neighborhood that's real small, 300,000, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 930 square feet. This one is right at $1 million, and it is huge and beautiful. This is in a very established neighborhood. This is kind of a cool looking house. So 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, almost 4,000 square feet. You got this one that's 525. This is kind of the area that's Lake Atalanta, neighborhood area that is very desired to be in. As I was mentioning, this one needs some updates possibly. It's very livable probably. I didn't go in it, but it looks very livable, just very 1990s, early late 80s. So you can get, and this one's going to be on, I want to zoom in. Let me zoom in. There we go. The internet's moving slow because I'm trying to record. So let's click on that one. So you're going to be on almost an acre, a little bit over an acre there. This one was built recently. It's 5 bedrooms, 4,400 square feet. It's kind of a interesting shape, but the finishes inside look really well done. Very beautiful, nice and bright. Interesting places. So I'm just trying to give you some examples of Prairie Creek and Lake Atalanta. So let's jump into the map right quick where I'm doing a little flyover with the drone and give you some information. Welcome to Lake Atalanta area. This is a highly desired neighborhood area to be around this lake. Beautiful walking trails, fishing. There's mountain bike trails. The rail yard, as you'll see on the map, goes right over there. It goes to the rail yard park. You got houses up on these hills on both sides surrounding this lake. This is a very highly desired area. There wasn't a house to show you. There wasn't necessarily a neighborhood to show you on this. It's just houses tucked into roads. There's not necessarily a neighborhood name, but this is the Lake Atalanta area. Super peaceful. You're in the hills. You're outside. You're 1 mile. This sign is less than 1 mile from downtown Rogers to the park, the main square, all the restaurants, everything that you're going to be wanting. There's a grocery store right there, restaurants, everything. So this is super close to downtown Rogers. You're in the hills. You're starting to get close to the Beaver Lake, where it starts getting much more hilly, much more steep, and they've got houses tucked in everywhere. I'll show you that on the map. Let's jump to that right now so you can see kind of what I'm talking about, how it's just, here's a road, and then we'll pop into maybe some MLS houses as well. Let's go do that. All right, before I go to the map, I wanted to show you this little park. So let's flip the camera around right quick. So got a bridge going over to the creek, go over a creek to the beautiful lake. I can't fly my drone here, which kind of sucks, but it is absolutely, it kind of bowls in on this hillside. There's a pathway all the way around. You can fish here. There's no boats. It is, as you can see, it is just hustling and bustling with people. Very beautiful setting, playgrounds, picnic areas, very Very relaxing to be here. Wonderful, wonderful area. So Lake Atalanta, so now we're here in Prairie Creek. The next place is, and it is 8 minutes away from downtown Rogers, where you have a grocery store and all the amenities and restaurants and such. But you're outside the city limits of Rogers. You're getting real close to the lake. Let's zoom in here to this neighborhood. This is where we were. We'll pop in there in a second. There's a new construction neighborhood right here. They're building, they've got 5 or 6 lots that they're building on. This one's close to being done, about 2-3 months away from being done. And it's big, and it's a very unique shape. And you're overlooking these beautiful vistas of just trees, and you can kind of see out beyond it. And as you saw as you're gonna see in the drone footage, I've just popped it up a little bit higher, and man, you can see the whole lake. There's only 2 or 3 restaurants here. There's a Dollar General here, so there's not a whole lot of amenities and facilities, but you are 10 minutes away from downtown Rogers, and then from downtown Rogers, you're 15 to 20 minutes to the interstate. So you are 30 minutes to the interstate, 25 minutes to the interstate, which can be frustrating, but you get that lake proximity or lakefront access. As you can see, there's a bunch of houses here. This is very desired, very Airbnb central as well. So there's a lot of homes. There's 500 miles of shoreline on Beaver Lake. Let's zoom out a little bit more, give you the whole taste of it there. 500 miles of shoreline. There's a lot of lake frontage. The next, after this, I'm going to pop into Prairie Creek here and show you that neighborhood. Then we're going to shoot up here to Garfield and show you a little bit about that. This can be a very typical street or neighborhood or new construction house in Prairie Creek area, Rogers. This one is very unique, a little over $1 million. Really cool inside when it's going to be finished. They've got 5 or 6 lots here on this street that you can custom build your massive house. This is not lake view, but it's on top of a hill. You got arches down into the trees, just absolutely stunning. So a beautiful, beautiful area in Prairie Creek, Rogers. So this is a pretty good example of rolling hills. You're off into the trees. The backyard is sloping, kind of like Bella Vista a lot. And what else? This is going to be very quiet, not a whole lot of traffic. There might be an Airbnb over there. There might be an Airbnb over there. There's a good amount of those in Rogers near the lake proximity or lakefront. This is going to be a very typical house that you're going to find in Prairie Creek, Rogers area, near the lake, on the lake, or in Garfield area where we're going to go next. So I'm going to pop up the drone and then let's show you Garfield. So between Rogers and Garfield, we have Avoca, which has a gas station and a fruit stand and 3 food trucks, post office, and that's it. There's a few churches there, and there's not much else. Keep going a little bit further. You got the Pea Ridge National Military Park, great park. Highly recommend going there if you're just visiting. Good place to go and a beautiful place to learn about some history there. And then Garfield. Garfield is, let's click on Garfield so you can see the whole, well, that is a poor representation of where Garfield is. Garfield encompasses a whole bunch of this lake frontage, all the way over here to Bush, Lost Bridge Village, and then all the way somewhere down in here. It kind of cuts off. But there's a lot of lake frontage homes. There's even Lost Bridge Village down here. They've got their own private airstrip as a POA area. There's HOA rules. It's pretty lenient, but they just have some building structure requirements. And then they've also got a whole bunch of facilities other amenities, like they've got some tennis courts and recreation pool. They've got swimming bridge. They've got swimming areas. And then Lost Bridge South Park, they've got a swimming area there as well. And a whole bunch of lake homes and lake proximity homes. The worst part about living over here in Garfield, near the lake, is it just to get back to the highway over here, that's a 20-minute drive minimum. And if you're further in, over here, you're looking at 40-minute drive, just because it's windy roads. You will not find better vistas near the lake than in Garfield. There's this road that you come up over. We couldn't stop and get any video of it. It just has this huge epic view of the lake and looking out over these hills. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful area. So one thing I want to talk about is where we jumped in right over here is there was a house right here. It was for sale. Kind of see the outline here. It was 5 acres, $950,000, brand new 24 build, 23 build with a shop. Really nice construction, really nice ranch with a pond. It went for $950. It's pending, so I didn't tour it. But this is the kind of property that you're going to find in Garfield. Maybe it's not brand new build, but it's on 5 acres. It's on 10 acres. There's this one right here, which is, let me just show you that one right quick. Let me get up there. All right, so here we are. I found it. So $682,000 for 5 bedroom, 3 bath. It's actually 2 buildings. Let's jump into this right quick. So this is right next to where I'm going to show you, and there's a little bit more details. So nice little house, 3 bedroom house on one side, and then there's a separate building that has a second dwelling as well. Beautiful 10 acres, and it's right next to a nature preserve. Let's look at this one right here. I didn't know this was for sale. 3 acres, $170,000. There you go, very flat land. It's right next to the Robin Melanie Walton Nature Preserve, which I talk about a little bit, but it is hundreds of acres. So all this land with this road you see going into it, all that is nature preserve. You can go hiking in there. There's no hunting, and it keeps going and going and going into this vast wonderland. It's all preserved there. We're in Garfield at the nature preserve that put on by the Walton family. There's hundreds of acres, maybe 1,000 or more acres. The reason I came up here is because there's right over there, there's a property that you're going to see on the map. It's 5 acres with a shop, big, beautiful 4-bedroom house, almost $1 million. Country rural living. There's not a sound other than trees and birds. There's not a road noise, but you are 25 minutes away from You're 16 minutes away from downtown Rogers. You're about 25 minutes away from the highway and a whole bunch of other shopping. So you are out here a little bit. You're pretty far out into the country, but it's not that far. For some people that are coming from California or from other areas, it's not that bad of traffic or distance. So super quiet, super peaceful, not many people. You can have space between you and your family and your neighbor. And then right down the road, as you're going to see on the map, there's going to be a Lost Bridge Village. And that is right on the lakefront. It's a POA. They have their own airstrip. They have their own amenities. Very lake living. But man, you are 30 minutes from just the state highway to get to downtown Rogers. So you're about 45, 50 minutes to the interstate. You're 35 minutes to downtown Rogers. So it's just a long drive is the biggest negative to being out here in Garfield because you're wrapped around that lake. So stay tuned for the map for a second and we'll show you that. I'm going to pop up the drone so you can see this area. Be sure to hit all the YouTube buttons and for notifications and everything. We are going to be doing the rest of Benton County, Bentonville, Pea Ridge, Bella Vista, Centerton, and then another video for Siloam Springs and over there. So there's going to be a lot of information jumping in and out of the map, giving you the pros and cons and what it's like to live in these areas, kind of give you some boots on the ground looks and feels and what we're experiencing and what we know of these areas. So be sure to stay tuned. We'd love to connect with you. Scan the QR code and connect with us if you want. Until then, we'll see you in the next video.